Good morning, good people. This is your girl Reagan Adams. Please, Reagan. So quickly, got up this morning and got up early and worked a little bit because I'm not one to kind of lay around in the bed. So it's time to go make some money. So that's what I did. Got hungry on the way. Sweet tooth is on 1,000. So I said, I want a pecan waffle. I love Waffle House. Side note, I know that's people's drunk spot or when there's nothing else open. I love it. I just do. But I don't get their waffles all the time. I normally get their cheesesteak sandwich, but I didn't want all that. I just wanted a pecan waffle cooked lightly and some eggs. So that's what I got. Anyway, it was very good. But as I was sitting there, well, let me back up. I had a waitress. Very sweet girl. Very sweet. Her spirit was very humble. It was very meek. It was mild. She was sweet. She was very pretty. Younger girl. Maybe 18. Maybe 19. You look young. Very inexperienced. Very green, but just sweet. What I noticed is everybody who was working was older. There were some, like, I don't want to really describe them because if I describe them a certain way, it's like I'm talking about somebody. So older people in their late 20s, mid to late 20s, early 30s, 40s, ongoing. Not very well spoken. Little hood. Okay. Diverse set of people, right? She, to me, stood out amongst everybody. She just stood out. And I just watched her. Like, I'm a people watcher in there, but I just observed her. But she was so sweet. And every time she tried to say something or do something, it was almost like it was too proper. It was too proper. And anytime she said something that was normal, because I eat there all the time. So drop a bacon, drop a head, whatever, drop it on the grill. That's what they say. And so she had said, drop an order of bacon. And everybody started mocking her. And I was like, that's crazy. But when the other people were saying, drop this, drop that, drop this, nobody said anything. They just did it and went on. But because she was different, like, it was just like every time they would pick on her. And then I heard one of the other girls say to her, you stink. And one of the people who were sitting next to me heard her, and she was just like, what? And she said, oh no, I'm just playing. But they were picking on her. And let me tell you something about me. I'm one of those people, like, I'm very protective by nature. I don't like when people get picked on. I would say I don't like it because, you know, I'm friends with them or I'm cool with them. But I don't like it. Let me be very clear about that. I don't like when I see people get picked on. And I was getting mad. I'm going to be honest. And so I wanted to write her a little something special on a napkin or whatever, but my way to show love is tipping. So I tipped her really well. I gave her some cash and I tipped her on the ticket. But this also goes back because Kennedy is having an issue in school. So the school that she goes to is it's like Beverly Hills 90210. It's one of the top tier schools here in Houston for a public school. So a lot of the people that go to this school, their parents have a lot of money. Okay. The program is really, really good. God told me to go to this school because otherwise I did not know anything about it. It has everything that she could ask, think, wish, dream for as far as wanting to be a businesswoman, to be a cook, to be a whatever, influencer, whatever it is, it's at this school. The curriculum is top tier, okay? But the thing is, the school that she's at, it's 60% minority, 40% white. That sounds great. However, that 60% white is like heaven. So you got people from Lithuania, Persia, Africa, like, it's a melting pot of kids. So it's not, when they say minority, it's not just black minority. Okay, so there are black kids at the school, all right? But it's not a ho-ho bunch, okay? There are some, but not a ho-ho bunch. Which she's not tripping about that either because she likes She has friends of all different nationalities. Kenny is not like that. She loves international things anyway and culture, so we're cool there. What happened? So she has been having a problem with kids talking about her. And Kenny is very quiet. Kenny is nothing. She's like me, but she's not in a sense that she loves everybody. She's very soft and kind-hearted, and she's very sensitive. I'm sensitive too, which a lot of people would not believe that I am. Like, I'm very sensitive. People are like, what? But I am. Like, my cousin called me a thug yesterday. I was like, what? I'm not a thug. But I don't play in that sense, but I'm very sensitive, right? I will cry in 2.3 seconds. Like, I just will, but nobody believes that. So anyway, but I'm just a little bit more vocal. Kenny is not, okay? And so I'm like, well, what are the kids saying about you? And she said, well, you know, they think I'm ghetto, but Kenny is very far from ghetto, like super far. Just because she got these plaits in her head and she wearing Jordans and all this stuff, she looks urban. And so because they're not used to seeing urban, it's an issue, right? And so she's having like to kind of deal with that. But I was like, you know, you're different. You're different. And if you weren't different and they didn't take notice of you, they would not talk about you. And so I said all of that to say is when you don't walk the same path as everybody else, they're going to talk about you. First of all, let's start before that. They're going to talk about you, period. If you're doing something different, if you're doing something the same. Listen, my mom and I talked about this yesterday. Like, it's very simple. We always say, well, they talked about Jesus. They talked about Jesus, and he didn't do nothing. But if you really take 2 seconds and think about it, Jesus was perfect. He didn't do nothing wrong. He came to the world to save people, and it still wasn't enough, right? They found something to talk to him about him. They found something wrong with him, so much so that they crucified him when he did nothing wrong. He was the perfect person, but they still talked about him. So who you think you are? So who do you think you are, right? But I just want to encourage you today, especially if you're on a road that's less traveled. And let me take a side step off of that real quick. I've been having a dream, a consecutive dream every week that I am taking the road less traveled. And I felt that it came back to me because when I was first driving here to Texas, I was on a road by myself for hours. It seemed like I did not see one car. And God told me then, when I was driving here, my first time like coming to Texas, that I'm on the road less traveled. And then I've been having that same reoccurring dream, but I'm taking people with me. So I saw one of my friends this time, one of my good girlfriends. She was screaming in my ear like, yeah. I said, girl, we going down the road less traveled. And she just started yelling, yeah. But that's just how she is anyway. Yeah, we're going down the road less traveled. But when you do that, that comes with obstacles. That comes with financial obstacles, that comes with fears, that comes with insecurities, that comes with people talking about you. Because sometimes you get the blueprint of things that nobody else sees, and you really don't know, but you know you have a responsibility to walk in that thing, right? Oh, this is good to me. You have a responsibility to walk in that thing. And so sometimes you can't consult with other people. Sometimes you're not going to look like the people that they think supposed to have the job or do the certain thing, but guess what? You're supposed to do it anyway. Right? And don't let people talking about you take you off track from the thing that you know that you're supposed to do. So I drill that in Kenny's head every day, but I have to realize that she's 14, right? Also, she starts her therapy session this weekend coming up, and this weekend because we start a new week. I'm super excited about that because what I want to do is compound the extra voices in her ear to help her get through life. Because yeah, I'm her mother. Yes, she's going to listen to me to a certain extent, but I need a tribe of people to help with that, right? And I know my daughter's different. She's different, but it's a good different. But she doesn't know that yet. And so what I do know is that the enemy will raise up in people who will try to help take you off your task by talking about you. And he starts young. And let me be very clear that we're not doing that in my house. Like, we're not doing that in my house. Also, the event that we were at, she's in 2, not 3 now, but 2 classes, 2 mentorship clubs. We went to one yesterday. Listen to me, let me be very clear about this. The lady who hosted it, in excellence. The food was excellent. Well, I'm gonna point that out anyway. Normally you get the go-go boxes, whatever. I wasn't even expected to eat, right? Came upstairs, it was in order. It was really good. Run well, information was good, stuff that kids need to talk about her age, like it was very good. So we still need a community to help raise our children. We can't do it by ourselves, specifically with, you know, I'm going to talk about from a single mother spot, but even when I was married, you still can't do it by yourself. So just start looking to employ people to help you with your children. This is just a side note, okay? But then also making sure that you're staying so much in tune with your children that you know their likes, their dislikes, making sure they're communicating with you well. How are they feeling emotionally? Some of the stuff we can't meet, like as people just in general, we can't meet everybody's needs 100%. That's life. That's life. I can only do so much as her mother. So we have therapists. We have mentorship programs. When I get married, we'll have my husband. We have my mother. We have her grandparents. We have aunts. We have uncles. We have friends that help her. So if we need it for our children, what do we think we need as adults, right? Right. We have to have the proper people to speak into our lives, bounce things off of, people that we trust, right? And it's not going to always be stuff we want to hear. Most of the time it's not. But we need those things to grow, do, and be better, right? So again, I just want to encourage you this morning. Like, if you know you got the blueprint for your family and you're not looking like your family, walking like your family, talking like your family, and you're trying to go and do and be different from what has been in the generations before you and even the present, listen, go do that thing. Like, go do that thing, and God will, like, listen, God will prepare you. Actually, he's already prepared the way. You just got to do it. Do it afraid, do it scared, do it with no money. He's going to provide. Everything that you need is already in you, but it does not come without adversity. This is so good. It does not come without adversity, right? You're going to have to do that thing. You're responsible for that thing. You're responsible for that thing. You are responsible. Your family is dependent on you. The generations behind you are looking at you. The generations that are in front of you are looking at you. You can't quit. I can't quit. And listen to me, I never thought about quitting, but I do a little, Lord, I don't know. Lord, I know what you said. Lord, I know what you showed me, but I don't know. Like, I had a dream yesterday. That's where I came up with the up from a dream this morning, where I shot my own self in the hand. It's self-inflicted stuff. We inflict ourselves with bad thoughts and what we see. We act as how we see things, when what we see a lot of the times is a lie. We have to operate in truth. I know you hear a lot of people say, well, I'm just dealing with reality. Well, as Christians, we can't do that. We don't have that we can't do that. We can't operate in reality, because that's not the truth. I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but if you're Christian, follow me. I've lived on faith all my life. As long as I've known and accepted Jesus Christ and been operating in him, I've had to live on faith, and it is not easy. Coming out here to Texas, it was easy, but it was not easy because I don't have anything else to fall back on. So if I don't make it, it's just like, well, but God showed me different. So I just have to keep walking in this thing every day, and he's making my crooked way straight, and he's going before me, right? He's going before me. He's going before you. He's going to help you. But you got to stay focused. You can't look at what people are saying. You can't look at what other people are doing. You're always going to get talked about. And here's my thing. What I tell Kenny, and I told my mama yesterday, give them a show. You want something to talk about? I'm getting ready to give you something to talk about, right? God is about to show out on my behalf, and he's going to show you who he is through me. But that's only because he's trying to show you that it's possible for him to work and move in your life, right? But he's going to make me an example. And I'm just going to give you something to talk about, right? And he is too. So you guys have a blessed day. This is your girl, Reagan Adams, with All Things Reagan. And Reagan says, I think it, I see it, I do it. You guys have a good one. Bye.